Well done. Hello photography friends. Well, possibly not even photography friends, because I imagine the title of this video might attract a few others who aren't into photography. But, you know, we shall get into that. Yeah, you can tell it's part 2 of a video because we're in the same outfit but a different hat. Anyway, this is going to be a light-hearted video. That way, you know, really light-hearted, as you can tell by the title. We're just going to talk about how Facebook can operate by having seemingly racist algorithms. Yeah, these are my personal experiences from using Facebook, and I know you're sitting there thinking, personal experiences, you're a middle-aged white guy, how are these personal experiences? Well, stick around and you will find out. Roll the title. So, how is the algorithm on Facebook racist? Well, I present you this. So here's your proof as to why algorithms can be racist. A new study finds a potential risk with self-driving cars failure to detect dark-skinned people. Well, it says pedestrians, but you know, pretend I don't have dyslexia, don't read ahead and make up words and just fill in the gaps myself. The findings speak to a bigger problem in the development of automated systems, algorithmic bias. Now, Facebook and Instagram are run on algorithms. They are policed, more importantly, on algorithms, and that is the issue, and that is the problem, and that is why we are all here right now talking about this. And we'll get into why that refers to Facebook and why that was personal to me and how it affected me. And yeah, and it is literally the exact same bias in these self-driving cars as it is on Facebook, and why we should be worried, to be honest, because whether it's considered a small thing on Facebook, because let's face it, a car can kill someone, Facebook isn't gonna, it still should not be a thing. And yeah, we need to, I don't know how we've got to a point now we accept it, to be honest, but let's go, let's keep going, let's keep reading, blah blah blah, loads of stuff. Algorithms can reflect the biases of their creators. Now that's a biggie. That is worrying, because obviously they're human inputted, so not only are they dumb bots that get things wrong, they are also inputted with potential biases, unconscious biases. I'm not saying that anyone at Facebook is racist, anyone who wrote the algorithms are racist. It may transpire that that is a possibility, but that is obviously not a fact. And yeah, it blows my mind how in 2025 a company as big as Facebook can go, well, we've got 3 billion people we need to police, we can't do it with human power, we can only do it with bots. And whoever forces the law upon these social media systems in any given country go, oh, okay, cool, that's fine, yeah, sure, if that's all you can do. I mean, again, if we started a business tomorrow and we couldn't follow the law and go, oh, don't worry about it, our bots are going to handle it, we'll be shut down in f***ing minutes. But you know, Facebook, big company. Cha-ching. But yeah, anyway, if you want to kind of get the context of why we're talking about this and how it relates to photography, link in the description, part 1, talking about the biases of how artists, creators, photographers are shafted by the Autobots on Facebook. And yeah, obviously to us it's frustrating, to minorities who have biased bots against them it's f***ing unforgivable. Again, this is my opinion based on my experiences, things that have happened, facts, realities that have happened to me. So again, I'm going to stress these are flaws within the system. They are flaws, and when contested, Facebook have put the posts up that have been a problem. And I'm not necessarily referring to racism, I'm referring to the photography bit I just mentioned earlier, which means they are accepting that their bots are flawed, their bots make mistakes, and factually speaking, the bots are wrong, which means they are also potentially racist. And that is, again, a very big issue that we need to be looking at. So when I say all this shit, Facebook can't come for me, because by their own admission, it's true. You know, by their own admission on terms of the cars, it's true. And that was in 2019. We've still not got, 6 years later, we've still not got automated self-driving cars. I imagine in a big part due to this problem. You know, you can't just go running over black people on the street when it's got to make a decision, because it doesn't understand contrast detection. And contrast detection is what we're going to be talking about, and how it refers to photographers. Yeah, let's see what else I've highlighted and I want to talk about. If I keep looking here, I have a semi-script just to talk about what, when I look down all this stuff, just what pissed me off the most and what I felt needed saying, and then I'm going to probably wax lyrical and talk bollocks in between and waffle a bit as well. So there might be a bit where my eyes are going. I'm not on drugs, I promise. I'm not. I am on a lot of caffeine, but only in tea form because I'm not really a coffee drinker. Some good ASMR. I have a Facebook group for models and photographers. It's all above board. It's for over 18s only, and I promote up and coming studio days. A studio day is like a model day for, well, models. No, so we bring in touring models, experienced models that have reputation UK wide, maybe even internationally, and we give photographers the opportunity who may not otherwise get to shoot with them or who want to shoot at our facilities, because we have awesome facilities of course, and they hire the studio and the model together for a fixed fee, and they can obviously create loads of portfolio work and have the unique USPs that we have. I mean, that literally is what USP is, unique, and the model that they might not otherwise get to shoot, or they want to shoot in our surroundings, or they just want to work with the model and just shoot something simple in our standard studio infinity curve. And we host these as studio days, and of course we have a diverse range of models, and with every model I make a flyer. Now we want to encompass the range of the model, so some models do art nudes, some don't, some just work up to fashion. Obviously that is absolutely fine, we don't care, it's the model's choice. It's always the model who chooses their levels, and some want to work up to art nude, and we need to convey that on the flyers and stuff, that is a level that they might walk up to, and they might have some gorgeous pictures of doing art nude work, and we censor them and we upload them on the flyer. Obviously we try to avoid using just art nude, because that's when we have issues on social media. We want to reel it in a bit, because we know that rules are there, and even though in theory we are going by their T's and C's, they still will crucify us if we push our luck too much, because they just want to shaft us too. But yeah, so we reel it in, but every now and then we put up censored images. So it might be a beautiful art nude and we've blackbarred, censored the boobs, censored everything really, and that's fine. You do it on a white model, black bars, contrast detection, it's what I was on about earlier. The algorithm looks at it and goes, they're either dumb and going, oh, they're wearing clothes, or they're dumb and, well, not dumb and they're going, oh, it's censored, it's fine. You can't see anything, it's an overlay, it's fine. They are not nude, or at least they are not showing nudity to our users. But the problem is, I done one with a black model, and I, of course, done black bars, black overlay on black skin, and the Facebook bot instantly went, nope, banned me from my own group. The group I moderate, that is only available to over 18s, that is only photographers and models, and is private. It was instant ban. They were like, nope, just because their bots looked at it and went, black on black, can't see that there's any censoring, but I know this person is nude, and that is obviously racist. And it's stupid to say, and it's only in theory a little thing, and it's a fix that they obviously, judging by the car problem, they can't make. Obviously they're struggling to do this contrast detection. So while they are not personally going, well, we're going to crucify black people, they are. But that is the case. They are treating different races differently, and maybe not out of choice and with intent, but they are, and that is a problem, and it boiled my piss, I gotta say. So I kicked off, as you can imagine, and I wasn't happy. That for me is a big concern. If we can have we can't have self-driving cars, then we should not be allowed to a company as big as Facebook should not be allowed to be policing their platform with racist bots. It's just, ain't no one dying, but that's not the point, is it? So secondly, another experience I've had, legit, full on, I have witnessed it, not relating to photography this time, was on Instagram. This is obviously a meta issue, and the reason it is a meta issue is because the amount of people I saw using the N-word, and because I can't remember why, but I think I went to compliment Saka for he's a classy lad, he's an intelligent lad, he's a fucking great footballer, and I went under one of his pictures, and of course it was just slur after slur, 50 strong, broken up by the occasional person like me who was about to say, now you did well mate, don't worry, don't beat yourself up about it. And yeah, it was fucking horrific. And yeah, Meta, I reported this to Instagram, of course. I reported 12 dozens, hundreds of posts of people saying this, and Meta's reply after looking into it was, we don't see a problem with this comment. And I'm not talking about other black guys saying it like, you know, as an term of endearment as they do, or as a throwaway term as people do when they are within that community and they use the N-word. I am talking about absolute scathing comments used purely to be a complete cunt and an absolute arsehole, to be basically a racist prick. And Meta's response to that was, oh, we don't see a problem, we're not going to do anything about this comment, it's going to stay up, it's absolutely fine. What? Yeah. So we've gone from, sure, yeah, maybe an algorithmic bot isn't racist, or at least it isn't intended to be racist, it just is because it's dumb, to, well, maybe these bots can be slightly racist because they're created by someone and someone has a bias on them, to, you know, racism flourishing on a platform and them going, no, it's definitely not racism, kids, don't worry about it, no, we've looked into it, we're not deleting those comments. And again, that fucking blows my mind, absolutely blows my mind. Oh yeah, and these comments are not available anymore, so, you know, fair play to Meta, they've either buried them or have actually done something about it since. And we'll have a look at graphs actually, how they've progressed in terms of their successes in taking down racism and hate comments. And yeah, we'll do that in a sec. But the sheer amount of that you can still see if you go onto Saka's screen, Saka's wall, scroll down to the final took place in July 2021. If you look at the post he posted just before that final, the amount of monkey emojis within the comments, I mean, all the proper like fucking N-word shit has been eradicated. I couldn't find any, which was a shame because I wanted to show it on here, which is why I went looking for this news article too, just to back up the point I am making. And yeah, just the amount of monkey emojis. I mean, I don't know what context Facebook I think they've been used in that are subjective, and we looked at subjectiveness in part 1, and they get away with policing their platform on subjectiveness. So for them to not police it in our favour on subjectiveness when we turn around and go, this shit is racist, is quite mind-blowing. Again, let's go to this news article. Social media companies must take immediate action. Yeah, well, obviously. Met Police will investigate the appalling online abuse aimed at England players. Social media companies must take immediate action to remove and prevent this hate. They must, but do they? No. They might claim they do, but no. We already know the bots can't. I mean, it would be hard pushed to say the bot is hateful, but the bots aren't working and they're not in any way sorted. So we quickly removed comments and accounts directing abuse at England's footballers last night, and will continue to take action against those that break the rules. Did they? They absolutely didn't, because I can't even remember. I don't even think it was straight after the game that I probably went on Saka's thing. It could have been a day or two later, and like I said, I reported it and they said no, not against our rules. So that is utter bullshit for starters. In addition to our work to remove this content, we encourage all players to turn on hidden words. Players, it's your fault that people have been racist towards you. A tool which means that no one has to see the abuse in their comments or DMs. So maybe Saka did this, maybe that's why the N-word comments are not available anymore, or maybe Instagram have actually tackled it since. And I mean since, because when they said this is bullshit, they just didn't do cool. Or at least they didn't do half of what they said they are. No one thing will fix this challenge overnight. Well, evidently. But we are committed to keeping our communities safe from abuse. Well, a good way of doing that is the human intervention when people report racism on your platform and taking it down straight away, opposed to just telling people you do. Because I know firsthand, because again, it is a fact. This isn't allegedly. This is reality. This is something that happened to me. This is something that I know for a fact. They did not take it down when I reported it. In fact, not only did not take it down, they told me it wasn't a problem. So yeah, that pissed me off. Let's go to their quarterly key takeaways and let's see. Okay, so their quarterly key takeaways, I imagine, is the end of the tax year, so Feb 2025, because it'll be the quarter, the last quarter before April, and this is apparently what they have improved this year and how they are policing their policies and what their policies are. Facebook and Instagram policies. Facebook and Instagram share content policies. Like I say earlier, or like I said in part 1, that affects photographers because it's all meta. If we don't get shadow banned, or rather if we get shadow banned for posting censored images on Instagram, and those images taken down, but we post the same image on Facebook and they stay up, where's the consistency? The irony talking about football relates to VAR, hypocrisy. There is no consistency between the two platforms. They both share the same policies, yet they are both policed differently, badly and inconsistently. One day I can put up a photo and have it. In fact, I have literally putting up a photo that has been taken down on Instagram, and they were like, this goes against our rules. I didn't get a chance to appeal. It was deleted, like, F you, gone, bye, see ya. And I uploaded the same picture after complaining, saying F you, it is within the rules, and it's still up to this day. So again, who is the human policing it behind it? Are they prudent? Are they up their own arse? Are they narcissistic? Are they, we don't get a say in the subjectiveness of the human who turns around and goes, oh my god, I don't want a pretty woman on my screen who's half naked, even though that she's not showing anything, because it offends me. I mean, that is not within their policies. That shouldn't be a thing that they can implement. So again, there is no consistency across the two platforms. No consistency on one of their platforms. Instagram, like I say, one post that gets deleted automatically and you have to kick up a fuss about, and they won't reinstate it. You then re-upload a picture and it stays up. Where's the consistency in that? Fucking mental. But anyway, let's keep going. What am I looking at now? Key takeaways for Q4 2024. Prevalence decreased on Facebook and Instagram for adult nudity and sexual activity due to adjustments made to our proactive detection technology. Proactive detection technology algorithm bot still doesn't understand contrast detection. So whatever these prevalence is, ironically probably made it more racist, because now it's been even harsher on censored images it doesn't understand. So yeah, great. Yeah, again, censored images, they've already said, as we saw in part 1, is it's okay, you can upload that onto Facebook, it's not an issue. So let's take a second just to recognise how long Facebook have been operating and policing themselves with bots. And yeah, it's just I think I've got seagulls dancing on the roof. And just just look at that pre-2021. Just that is crazy numbers. Look how high that is in comparison to what it is now. Fucking seagulls. And yeah, so let's just look at the numbers, because that's going to be interesting. 0.1%, that sounds tiny. Even back then, even though the graph is peaking then like tenfold compared to what the numbers are today apparently. Bearing in mind Facebook has over 3 billion monthly active users, and that's 0.1% of them, which yeah, doesn't sound like a lot, sounds tiny, until you realise that 0.1% of 3 billion people is 307 million racists, sexists, hate comments, hateful people, hate problems, criminal profiles. Madness. I mean, it could be worse. I guess it could be Elon's free speech platform on his clusterfuck ego journey of him buying X, and we all know what his Trollville's all about. You know, the guy's idea of free speech has been so wrong that he has to retract his own comments that of things he's learnt about on his own platform because they're wrong. I mean, that's how good that is at delivering news and how much shit he talks. But yeah, it's not about Elon. But all you haters that want to suck his dick can get in my comments and cry and how my algorithm on YouTube. That's cool. That's cool with me. So yeah, of that 307 million, roughly 10% was tackled. I didn't actually notice the Insta icon. If I did, I could have toggled it and looked at Insta and how it referred to what I saw in terms of Saka getting abuse. But you know, it's a shame. I'm not going to re-record, screen record. You can have a look if you want to. So yeah, again, like I said, it would have been interesting to look at 2021 around the time of the final just to see if it spiked or not, because obviously Facebook's a worldwide thing, and while the World Cup is big, it's going to obviously mean more to the two teams that were playing it and football fans. Mid-July, yeah, like I said, racism against English black players was seemingly a hobby for many. They are claiming that only 3.5% was reported by other users, and they managed to control 96.5% of it prior to the report. Well, I was obviously part of that 3.5%, and they did fuck all when I reported it. Definitely wish I clicked on that Instagram toggle now. Yeah, so again, giving them credit, I couldn't find those racist comments. As I said, Saka may have turned it off by using his keywords, or this graph generally shows since 2001 they have made massive leaps into sorting it out, and they have since deleted it all. So maybe Facebook are improving a bit, but they certainly weren't doing it at the time. Like the article in the CNN, I think it was, yeah, they definitely weren't tackling it, and then they were definitely giving us bullshit excuses as to why they weren't deleting comments. So what does that mean when they have checked a comment and have decided it isn't racist? Well, that is 96% of 31 million people. These are the ones they claim they have tackled prior to the reports, and that's looking pretty conservative now when you consider that the reports that they are given by actual humans and not their bots, they didn't find a problem with it. So 96% of what their bots think, which as we already discovered and realised are very f***ing dumb, have tackled it. So that is a very conservative figure. I don't think it's anywhere close to 96%, because if the humans can't get it right, then the bots certainly can't. So that would mean out of 307, the 307 million people figure from earlier is also conservative. So there are potentially much more hateful, racist, sexist users on Facebook as the what did you say it was, 10%? Worked out at 10%, right? 3 billion people down to 307 million. Let me just double check my numbers. I don't want to be giving you bullshit here. Did I say it was 10%, roughly 10% was tackled, they claim. So again, 10% isn't good enough on its own, and those numbers are grossly over exaggerated, clearly. But yeah, in conclusion, astonishing. I do find it crazy that a platform that has 3 billion monthly users can police themselves with bots that are constantly wrong and with intent or otherwise racist. That just blows my mind. As much as I love having a platform to express stuff, I mean, Instagram I probably use more than any other social media platform. It was originally conceived by photographers for photographers, and then Meta fucking ruined it. I think, to be honest, it got ruined long before that with how they shafted the algorithms to completely kill off photography and make it all about people shaking their ass and whatnot. And pardon me. And yeah, but how can a company legally operate by not policing itself properly and having that little influence on its users to correctly ensure the running of the platform is biasless, if that's a word, and is protecting its people. It definitely isn't. It can't. It genuinely can't. It's impossible. As they've recognised themselves, it's impossible. But there's it's impossible. A few naughty things happen, and it's impossible. It's fucking wrong consistently, and it is fucking wrong consistently, and that is just an issue. But governments, will they take action? Ching, probably not. They're probably getting paybacks. You never know. Allegedly they might be. Everything else I've said, bang on fact, happened to me. I can contest that. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Cha-ching, Anyways, I promise not all videos are going to be this ranty. Unless you like ranty videos, then maybe you might want another one like this. What you can do is you can go on my Patreon if you really want to, because I do ranty blogs there, and some of them are ranty, some of them aren't. Some of them are just talking about philosophy, psychology, just the BTS stuff that happen that shoots the nerves you feel when you first start shooting new models and whatnot. So if you find the more deeper stuff interesting, then Patreon, for the sake of $5 a month, you can support me, which would be amazing, because quite honestly I spend hours and hours and hours writing blogs on Patreon, and I barely make anything from it. So if you want to, I'll put a link in the comments. In the description, you can have a look at that. There's a free trial as well, so if you want to get a feel for how I talk and what I say there, you can have a look and have a mooch. And there's, talking of censorship, there is uncensored images, because we can post uncensored images on Patreon, even though that has its own bots, which is quite funny. On Patreon, you can say nude, you can say dick, fanny, fuck, you can say everything, but you can't say naked. You can't say naked. You can say nude. You can say naked. You can say bollocks, dick, anal. I don't know what I'm saying all this. I'm gonna have to beep it all, right? But yeah, on Patreon you can't say naked. It's really weird. So yeah, Patreon has its own problems, but for one very specific word. In fact, I've been bollocked on Patreon before. They took down one of my blogs, and I contested it. Funny enough, okay, this is a story for you. I contested a blog they took down on Patreon, and they said, please edit it and re-upload it so it's okay, because it breaks our rules. And I edited it, changed nothing. They have some kind of music where if you got to a soundman and go, I want more of this in my monitor or whatever, and the soundman knows that the levels are fine and he thinks he's just been an arsehole, he has a DFA button, DFA slider, a fader, and he pushes that up. yeah, okay, cool, done. And DFA slider basically means does fuck all, so you do it as a gesture to make the person happy, and they go, oh yeah, it's so much better. Patreon, I did the same. I went, there you go, and they went, oh, thank you for making the changes, this is absolutely fine now. And I replied to the woman, whoever it was who's doing customer service, says, I did fuck all, which goes to prove that you don't know what you're talking about and you got it wrong in the first instance. And they didn't reply. So yeah, that's a fun Patreon story. In fairness to Patreon, they have given me very little jib in comparison to Meta, so I can't really hold that against them. They've been decent other than that. I've had no issues with getting them a few quid off them. I've had no issues with posting 90% of the stuff I post. You watch now, they're going to slam me and make my life difficult. But yeah, this content, if you want more ranty, more philosophical, I'm not going to make every video like this on YouTube, because it's a lot. It's what reason I've done it in 2 parts, because it's a lot of looking at screens and reading comments and me babbling. I'm going to do other stuff like critiques. Other people sending pictures, I'll critique them. I'll do so in a decent way, obviously. I might comment on photography stories. That will be more along this line, because it's nice and easy to record and it can be fun to have a rant about. It'll hopefully be less dark, and there'll be plenty of BTS content, and there will be other photography related content. So yeah, if you're interested in any of that stuff, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subscribe, and until next time, bitches, peace.